Hello again and welcome back to another session of Commerce class with me, Suman Rathore. Friends, business enterprises can be classified into three broad categories. First is private sector enterprise, second is public sector enterprise, and third is joint sector enterprise. Now, private sector enterprise. Private sector enterprises are those enterprises which are owned, managed, and controlled by private businessmen, and there is no interference by the government. The main motive of private sector enterprise is to earn maximum profit. Now, public sector enterprises. Public sector enterprises are those enterprises which are owned, managed, and controlled by the state or government or by municipal authorities. The main objective of public sector enterprise is to render service to the society. Now, joint sector enterprise. Joint sector enterprises are those enterprises wherein the ownership, management, and control are shared jointly by private businessmen, government, and public. And these are used as a means of achieving socio-economic objectives like rapid industrialization, balanced development, check on monopoly and business malpractices, etc. Now, let's go back to the private sector enterprise. Private sector enterprises can be classified or can be organized in 5 ways. First is sole proprietorship, second is partnership, third is joint stock company, fourth is cooperative society, and fifth is joint Hindu family business. Now, in our coming videos, we'll discuss each one of them in detail, but to start with, let's go back to the sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship. As the name suggests, sole means single and proprietorship means ownership. So it is a form of business organization which is owned, managed and controlled by a single person. He himself manages the affairs of the business and enjoys all the profits and bears all the risk and losses of the business enterprise. Now, to understand the concept properly, let's focus on its characteristics. So, the very first characteristic of sole proprietorship is single ownership. As discussed earlier, sole proprietorship is wholly owned by a single person who is liable for all its activities and transactions. He invests money, bears the risk of business, and takes up all the profits and losses. Second characteristic is sole management and control. The proprietor alone takes all the decisions pertaining to the business. He is not required to consult anybody for making decisions. He himself is the owner, advisor, financier, and the manager of his business. Ownership and management are vested in the same person. Third characteristic is no separate legal entity. A sole proprietorship has no legal identity separate from that of its owner. The law makes no distinction between the proprietor and his business. The business and the owner exist together. For example, in case of death or insolvency or lunacy, etc. of the owner, business gets dissolved as he was the sole owner of the business. Fourth characteristic is unlimited liability. Sole proprietorship has unlimited liability. This implies that the owner is himself liable to pay off the entire liabilities of business. If business assets are not sufficient, then his personal assets might also be taken to pay off business liability. To understand this concept, let's suppose Ram is the sole proprietor of a business and he owes rupees 1 lakh to one of his creditor named Shyam. And even after selling the assets of the business, he falls short of rupees 50,000. Then Ram's personal assets like his house or his car or some of his jewelry, can be used to pay off the debts of his business. Next is no legal formalities. No legal formalities are required to start, manage, and dissolve sole trader business. Though in certain types of businesses, like for opening a restaurant or for starting a security agency, license from appropriate authorities is required. Next is limited scope. Sole proprietorship form of business is normally suitable for small scale and less risky businesses. It is also suitable for areas where personalized services are required. For example, in case of boutique, small retail shops, etc., sole proprietorship form of business is the most desirable. Now let's discuss the merits or advantages of sole proprietorship. So, the very first merit of sole proprietorship firm is that it is easy to start and dissolve. A sole proprietorship can be set up easily and quickly. No legal formalities and little expenditure are involved in the establishment of sole proprietorship. Only a license may be needed in some special cases. The proprietor can start and stop business operations as and when he desires. Second is quick decisions. The main advantage of sole trade business is that the owner can take decisions promptly because he is the only person to take a decision, and he is not required to consult anybody and enjoys complete freedom of action. Quick decision and independent control helps in improving efficiency of business operations. Third is motivation to work. There is a direct relationship between effort and reward in case of sole proprietorship. Therefore, there is an incentive to work hard. The proprietor is motivated to make the best possible use of his skills and resources to maximize his profits. Fourth is secrecy of affairs. Secrecy is one of the most important factors for the success of every business. The sole trader is not required to publish his accounts and is not expected to share his secrets with others. Complete secrecy of business affairs provides him greater competitive strength. Fifth is personal touch. The sole proprietor can maintain personal contacts with his customers and employees. He can cater to the requirements of each and every customer. He can also build healthy relations with his employees. Sixth is flexibility of operations. A sole trader business is usually small in size and simple in structure. It can therefore be adjusted easily whenever necessary. The proprietor can easily change or modify his line of business to suit the changing conditions of the market and can take maximum advantage of new opportunities. In spite of the advantages, sole proprietorship firm suffers from certain disadvantages or demerits or limitations also, like limited funds and resources. Sole proprietor cannot expand his business beyond certain limits due to limited financial and human resources. Due to this limitation of capital and management, sole proprietorship business cannot flow and expand to a large size. Its goodwill and bargaining position are also weak. Second is unlimited liability. If due to some reasons there are losses in the business, then the personal property of the businessman can also be utilized to pay the debts of the business in addition to the capital. Fear of loss of personal property due to failure of business makes the proprietor very cautious and conservative. As a result, the business may fail to grow and keep pace with the new developments in its particular field. Third is lack of specialization. The managerial ability of proprietor is limited. All the qualities such as judgment, wisdom, etc. required for success in business are rarely found in one person. The proprietor is overburdened with too many tasks. He may commit errors of judgment and his decisions may be hasty. Sole proprietorship cannot afford to employ professional experts. As a result, the benefits of division of labor are not available. Fourth is lack of stability. An important limitation of sole proprietorship is that its continuity is directly affected by death, lunacy, ill health, imprisonment, or bankruptcy of sole proprietor. Business comes to an end with the death of the proprietor if it is not taken over by anyone. Next is limited scope for expansion and growth. Sole proprietorship suffers from the limitations of expansion and growth because it has limited human and financial resources. Sole proprietor normally gets credit on the basis of his personal properties and business assets. As these are limited, his access to funds from external sources is also restricted. So, after understanding the whole concept of sole proprietorship, we can say that it is more suitable where the market is local and the businessman wants to give personal attention to all his customers by investing limited capital and enjoys maximum freedom of decision making and power. That's all for today. Thanks for staying in tune and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you and goodbye for now.